Hello and welcome back. I'm Alan from Yellow Tuxedo, and today we are going to be talking all about using Zoom to record your podcasts. With lockdown now in place, it's become impossible to meet up to record a podcast, but we know so many of you are recording podcasts and so many of you are starting to record podcasts as well. Now, Zoom has been one of the standout winners of this lockdown, with everyone seeming to adopt it, and today we want to talk about how to use Zoom to its best for recording a podcast. Don't forget though, with us it's all about reusing and repurposing content where you can, and one of the benefits of using Zoom to record your podcast is that you get video straight out the bat that you can put onto YouTube, you can put onto Vimeo, and you can put where else you choose to put it. Okay, we're not going to hang about today. We're going to jump straight into the settings of Zoom because there's just a few settings you need to make sure are ticked to ensure you're getting the best quality audio and video recording so you can get the podcast out there but also get the video out there as well. Right, so here we are in Zoom. We've got the app loaded. This is the Mac version, but it's pretty much the same for all versions. So top right, we have settings right here, and it always brings us up at general. We're only going to be looking at a few settings really. We're going to be looking at video, audio, and recording, because there's just a few things you can do to make it better for you and the person you're chatting to on your podcast. Right, first up, we're going to jump into video. There we are. Hello. And first up, because we want to use the video from this, we're ticking enabling HD. Now, it might be that your built-in webcam's not very good and you may want an external webcam, but by ticking enable HD and ensuring that the camera you want to use is selected here, you're going to get the best quality video for you to export to be able to then use, on your video sharing platforms. Then we're going to jump into audio right here. The first setting we've got here is speaker. Now we've got selected built-in output here, but actually what we would recommend to get the best version possible is to use headphones. Now the reason, if you use headphones, Zoom has got less processing to do. Because if you think about it, on your computer, it's got a microphone and it's got speakers, so therefore something has to basically tidy that up. Now whether that's your computer or whether that's Zoom, it's still tidying it up and it's still taking processing power. And we want this to be the best version it can be for a couple of easy hacks. Okay, so that would be about wearing headphones, or just make sure the speaker you want to use is selected. And you can tweak the volume here as well and obviously test them. Microphone, if you've got an external microphone on your headset, then you would select that there. And once again, we can test and we can tweak the input level right here. And fab setting there, automatically adjust the microphone volume, and that's that balance, that processing I was talking about. You've got some other settings here. Press and hold space key to temporarily unmute yourself is a great setting. We've all been on those Zoom chats where they've been very busy with lots of people talking, and by just pressing that momentarily to give your answer while perhaps the speaker in the podcast is on a long spiel is a great way of just going, yeah, totally agree, and then before it comes to your part where you can hold that down. And it saves you having to find the unmute yourself if you're using the mute settings. We're going to jump into audio advanced now. There's a great one here, show in meeting option to enable original sound from microphone. If you're feeling pretty clever on your editing, then you may want to tick that, because that will just take the source file, the source audio as it comes into the microphone. However, we've talked about Zoom processing as well. If you just want to record it to the best Zoom can do it, then this is what you tick. Select these to auto, make sure they're on auto. If you don't and you fancy tidying it up a bit more in your video editor, then yeah, select show in meeting option to enable original sound from microphone. Okay, right, now we're going into recording. And here at recording, I've set already where I want to save it. I have a standard place where I'm going to save it. There's nothing worse than losing your recording. We're going to store our recordings locally. Zoom does have an option to record them on the cloud, but that's paid for options. And this is about just using Zoom for free for the moment to record your podcast. Bear in mind, you can't go over, you can't hit that hour mark with these. So this is going to be for 30, 40-minute Zoom recordings, podcasts. Here's another key setting right here. record a separate audio file for each participant. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a moment, and what that's going to allow you to do is in the editor, just balance that a little bit better. You can know you were talking about using the automatic functions on the editor for you. So that's allowing you to put them in and just make sure they sound the best they can be. But if you just have one audio source file for both, if you tidy up one, it's going to affect the other. By just having them separate, whether you run auto or you want to tweak them manually, it's just going to allow it to be as good as it can be. Here's another thing about freeing up processing power of Zoom. Untick some of these other boxes because they all take up processing power. And then we've got keep temporary recording files here. That's just going to allow, if anything goes wrong, you're still going to have some of your podcast there. Right, there is one other setting on here. Look at what space is remaining on your hard drive. Now this is really important. You want over 16 gig here. This is a great place for you to go, I haven't rebooted my computer in a while. So close down all those tabs. We all do it. Close down all those apps, all those bits of software on your computer, reboot it, because we want to give your computer and Zoom the best opportunity to record the highest quality content, because that's what your users are going to enjoy. Okay, we've got one other setting we're going to look at, and that is over on the website. So go to Profile, View Advanced Features. That's going to open up the website. Close your settings down here. And we'll just wait for that to load. And we are in Settings. We're going to go to Recording. And there's a couple of good features you might want to put on. Automatic recording, so it's going to record automatically the second it starts, and that way you're not going to lose anything, because sometimes, you know, there's those golden nuggets that happen at the start of a conversation, and you think, oh, imagine if I'd got that. And this way you're going to have all of that to be able to play with. And don't forget, we're talking about using this audio and taking snippets, and you can use that across all of your platforms. I'm going to link to a video right up here now about how we talk about repurposing content across all of your platforms right there. And then you've got recording disclaimer here. This is a really good one. You can tick that on, and then when it's recording on your, the person you're interviewing, the person you're chatting to screen, it's just going to know they're recording. And you want to check your local laws for that, because understand this video is on YouTube. The entire world can watch this, so make sure you know your local laws for recording people. And that's why if you give them consent, you can help that as well. Right, okay. So that's that setting, and then back into Zoom, and then obviously you have that meeting and you chat away. Okay, they're all the settings that I think you need to tweak and adjust to make sure you've got the best, the best podcast you can have and the best videos to be sharing out on YouTube and all the rest of your platforms. But let's just have a look what that looks like. So here's your Zoom recordings. These are the ones I've done today, so you can see this. You've got your original video here. That was me playing with it, and then you've got your separate audio files here. Now there's a couple of other benefits to this. One is if you really wanted to, you could just take that recording there and share that. And the other thing you could do is just take these two, mix them, and you've got your podcast there and then. So actually there's many different things you can do to make your life easier with those three files. And that's it. We think they are the easiest settings you need to tweak just to make sure your Zoom podcast is the best it can be. As always, please do like, subscribe and comment on our videos. It means so much to myself and Emily. We love the fact that people are watching these and growing their online presence from them. And let us know what you're doing in your comments below. Let us know what your business is, what your podcast is, and what bits you've got from these videos that are really working for you. Thank you so much once again, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye now.